This is a Zenith Royal 7000 all-band receiver. So it's kind of the ultimate Zenith Transoceanic from the Transoceanic line. I think this is one of the last ones they made. Beautiful radio. Guess it has a beat frequency oscillator, which is cool. You can listen to sideband transmissions. Should be able to decode sideband with a BFO. VHF is weather band, you know, NOAA. Now, unfortunately, the batteries leaked in this. Don't ever leave modern batteries in anything. They will leak and destroy your equipment. And I mean, this is one of the more serious cases where they leaked and it's like the vapors or gas from them actually ate the chrome up on parts of the receiver. I mean, really vicious. So see how it ate the switch up there and it's not even near. So this is AC/DC. So that switch pushes over to activate the power transformer inside. Here's the back of it. It's got the original earphone, Royal 7000. Kind of almost looks like the old school, I think the 3000, the layout there. This must be who it originally belonged to. Telephone number ED. Anyway, let's see if we can power it up and see if it works. I found a cord that kind of fits on there. I had to take the plate off. This is the spacing on these pins is probably much closer than would be legal today. I mean, they are really close together. Yeah, I got that and I got the switch flipped. Let's see if it works. Well, there's hiss, but broadcast is dead.
I said, are you gonna be my girl?
Like, so don't let me down.
And the only important thing, Jesus died on
Mattress.com.
Santa's gotta make it to town.
The temperature was 72 and the relative humidity 49%. The wind was calm. The pressure was 29.98 inches and falling. At Los Angeles Airport, it was mostly sunny.
Okay, so this is crystal controlled 162.55 weather.
At 5 miles an hour.
It's interesting. There's a bunch of them. 162, 45, 425.
It was mostly sunny.
I guess it's fixed. So what do we have here? We have the beat frequency oscillator, manual RF gain, tone, and volume.
The wind was northwest at 5 miles an hour. At Santa Ana, it was mostly sunny. The temperature was 71.
Needs some cleaning on those switches. But all the AM bands are dead. Silent. See if it won't get K and X. If it won't get K and X, then the oscillator's probably not running, because it should get K and X. You can get K and X with just a detector diode. Now let's get this open and see if we can troubleshoot why the AM's not working. Wow, and it is just like an old school, the whole Transoceanic line. What an absolutely gorgeous built piece of equipment. Talk about American made. All the transistors are in sockets. High quality tuning, alignment capacitors. It looks like they did switch to some silicon in this one. Those are not germanium. Those the driver there and the outputs are not germanium transistors. These could be. It's even got the same style plug as the, I think, the 1000 and the 3000, except it's got a power transformer and rectifier back here. Absolutely beautifully built. Beautifully serviceable. Just the finest quality you could probably buy. Alright, let's see. RF oscillator mixer. And then down below is the FM oscillator mixer. So let's see. We are looking at this section right here. So this would be I guess it could be something in the AM/IF strip too, right? Because the AM, maybe it does use the same AM and FM IF. They're just stacked. So this is the mixer. There's nothing that says that something else isn't wrong, but we want to start with we definitely want to start with the transistors. Alright, so these all look like the same 121, 687, 687, 687. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate them around. Actually, I could borrow the 121, 687 out of the FM oscillator down there, or what I could do is I could put it on FM and take these one at a time and stick them in down there and see if they all work. Maybe I'll do that. So I'll put it on FM. Alright, well the first one I took out and put in there is dead. The RF amp. And that's the good one. Alright, well I identified out of those three the RF amp was bad, and the way I tested them was by switching them with the one in the FM tuner down there. The ones in the FM tuner are used on FM only, and these are used on the AM bands only, and they're all the same part number. So I borrowed that one that was good from the FM and put it in the RF amp.
It's in your app store.
And prayer to God through the Blessed Mother.
There we go. There's automatic gain control.
Pray for an end to abortion in America.
Couldn't we have had one debate with just the Republicans and say, let's all get behind one guy? Because, Feinstein was going to get in there.
Okay, so we'll go back to the bad transistor. So see, it's totally dead with that transistor. I'm using one of the ones from down here to test it.
Republican Party in this state. Option 2 is let's go interview Texas and Montana and Idaho and Arizona and
look at the bottom of the bad one. The bad one's on the right. What is that brown? See, this one does not have that. What is that? This is the bad one right here.
people just have to be open to the change and watch.
Okay, this whole box is Russian germanium transistors, and I'm going to find something that will work in here. First thing I need to do is identify what 121,687 is. I'm just going to do that with the diode check on my meter. Wow, this appears to be an NPN transistor. So one of the 4 pins is just connected to the case, and one of them's the base and the other one's the emitter and collector. Usually the emitter is next to that little metal tab that's sticking out, but not always. Right, so where the red lead is connected is the base. The one on top is connected to the metal can, and the black is either emitter or collector, and the bottom one's either emitter or collector. So this looks like it's NPN. If it was germanium, this looks like it's silicon. If it was germanium, the drop would be like 0.2 volts, not 0.7. And you can see the black is on base, and the drop is 0.179 on this transistor. So it's definitely a silicon transistor. Interesting. Zenith had really stepped it up by this point. And this is the bad one. You can see that junction's open. That junction is good, but one of them's open. I actually forgot that I had all the Zenith radio service manuals, and I could have just looked in here to make it real quick, because this has extremely detailed information of everything. So there's the pinout of the transistor we changed. This gives all the pinouts. And the audio output on this is a little bit different. It's more of a direct drive push-pull type setup, where most of the old Zeniths had coupling transformers. So this should sound better. Fidelity-wise, getting rid of those transformers improves the Yeah, the factory service manuals, nothing can beat them. I mean, they give such detailed instructions on how to do everything. I should have grabbed this from the beginning, but the logical deduction method works just as well. Alright, the transistor has been substituted. What I did is I marked on here, this is the base, and that's either the emitter collector or that's the emitter collector. This one down here is the shield. This is a high frequency RF amp transistor out of a television tuner, and I compared it with the proper transistor, and the RF gain is about the same as the one from down here. So we're going to leave that alone. You can go ahead and roll out with your negative trolling comments that I don't know what I'm doing and I did it wrong, but whatever, it's done and it's working. So instead of going to the electronics store and trying to find a 4-pin transistor, this should work just fine. And someone's been in this before, because this is these are the two outputs, and they should be a matched push-pull set. This is the original. This is some stick-in that the shop that's probably on the bottom here found and put in there just like I did. So let's give it the sweep test. Alright, so we're on AM broadcast right now.
It's Red Zone Radio. With military people in concert. From San Manuel Casino.
By calling your addiction team, first steps to recovery to help you.
Before beginning in verse. When they discovered,
are expected to see unprecedented amounts of video evidence. We'll send you a $50 food certificate for moorings of our faith in church. Originally believed that he was the shooter and gunned him down. April Pipkins is Bradford's mother.
Should be 160 meters. Shortwave is largely dead these days anyway. All the shortwave transmitters are shutting down because no one's gonna pay to run a 100 kilowatt or 500 kilowatt transmitter when you can run your ministry through the internet. Electricity is no longer cheap. Maybe we can get some sideband action on 20 meters. Let's see. This damn thing doesn't cover 20 meters. It doesn't cover 20 meters. How about 80 meters? Let's see, bandwidth, normal or sharp? Let's go with narrow bandwidth.
Ashtoreth and other Canaanite gods.
Well, you know, I'm gonna spray the contacts in here. You know, it's a badass radio, no doubt it's one of the best. But the truth is it's just a dead technology now, because like I say, there's just not much there. Look at the attention to detail there. I don't know how you turn it on, but it's just a dead technology. Like I say, no one's gonna pay the money to run a high power shortwave transmitter when you can do the same thing for a lot less through the internet. And you know, pretty much even the most rural people in the most tribal areas have cell phones now. You know, it's not just Americans that are all running around looking at their phones. Let's do long wave. We did have a few markers. Last time I swept this, which was probably a little over a year ago, we had a couple FAA, you know, airport station beacons still popping out their Morse code beacon, but even those are gone. I know that they had put those on a pretty much a thing where when they died they didn't fix them, so it's dead technology.
Season. Big lots once the holidays and so much.
Jesus' exaltation came.
Nice radio, just not very useful. Anyway, that's quick repair of a Zenith Royal 7000, changing the RF amp transistor in the AM shortwave section. I'm going to spray the controls and try and find a cord for it, or what I'll do is I'll whittle away at this one and get it down to where it'll fit through the hole in the back. And that's it. This is a wrap.